If you're shopping for the lowest price marketing option for your treatment center, this video is probably not for you. And that's intentional. This conversation is for operators who care about long-term impact, sustainable growth, and protecting the integrity of their program. Because in addiction treatment, cheap marketing rarely stays cheap. It usually becomes one of the most expensive decisions a center ever makes. Let's start with what we see almost every time a center comes to us after working with a low-cost agency. The website backend is a mess. It looks fine on the surface, but under the hood, it's broken. Bloated code, outdated plugins, poor site architecture, no technical SEO foundation. In many cases, the site needs a full rebuild just to be functional and secure. Then we look at all the links. Cheap agencies almost always build cheap links, toxic links that violate Google's guidelines and actively harm rankings. Those links do not help visibility. They suppress it. They have to be audited, disavowed, and cleaned up before real growth can even begin. Next, the keywords are wrong. Not slightly wrong, fundamentally wrong. The site is optimized for terms that do not match search intent, payer mix, or level of care. That means Google has to be re-educated about who the center is, what it offers, and who it serves. That takes time. Time that could have been spent growing. This is the first hidden cost of cheap marketing. You're not starting at zero. You're starting behind. The second cost is the one most owners never calculate correctly: lost admissions. Let's assume one admission has a lifetime revenue value of $30,000. For some centers, it's more. For some, it's slightly less, but that's a reasonable, conservative number. Now let's look at a realistic growth scenario with a competent strategy. Month 1, 2 admissions. Month 2, 4. Month 3, 6. Month 4, 8. Month 5, 10. And month 6, 12. That's not aggressive. That's achievable when systems are aligned. Now imagine spending 6 months with a cheap agency that does not deliver meaningful growth. Those admissions do not just disappear, they're lost permanently. 2 admissions lost in month 1 is $60,000. 4 in month 2 is $120,000. 6 in month 3 is $180,000. 8 in month 4 is $240,000. 10 in month 5 is $300,000. And 12 in month 6 is $360,000. Over 6 months, that is more than $1 million in lost lifetime revenue, all to save a few $1,000s a month on marketing. At the same time, leadership is distracted, clinical teams feel the pressure of low census, admissions staff burns out answering phones that don't convert, morale drops, decision-making becomes reactive instead of strategic. Cheap marketing does not just slow growth, it destabilizes the whole organization. There's also risk, real risk. Low-cost agencies often do not understand the regulatory and compliance realities of addiction treatment. Websites are not properly updated, security patches are ignored, data handling is sloppy, forms are not secured appropriately. This is not just a technical issue, it's a liability issue. At Behavioral Health Partners, every client is hosted on a HIPAA-compliant server with security standards compared to those used by the DOJ. That's not overkill. That's responsibility. We work in a space where privacy, trust, and data protection are non-negotiable. Cheap marketing often cuts corners in places you cannot afford to cut corners. Another cost that rarely gets discussed is opportunity cost. Growth delayed is growth denied. When a center waits 6 to 12 months too long to invest in the right strategy, the market does not wait with them. Competitors gain ground, brand authority shifts, referral patterns change. Google rewards consistency and momentum, not hesitation. Trying to be cautious by spending less often creates the exact opposite outcome. It extends the timeline, increases total cost, and compounds frustration. Now, this is not an argument for reckless spending. It is an argument for intentional investment. You should clearly understand the strategy being executed for your center. You should understand the timeline. You should see the work being done. Agencies that promise a guaranteed number of admissions in a specific time frame are almost always selling short-term contracts, not long-term solutions. Ethical growth does not come from guarantees. It comes from systems, data, and execution. SEO reporting should track the same keywords every month. You should see directional movement, not cherry-picked wins. PPC reporting should show cost per admission and return on ad spend. If you cannot clearly see how performance ties to census, you are not running a strategy. You're running an experiment without controls. There is one more hard truth in all of this. As an owner or clinical leader, you should not be the expert in every vertical of your business. Strong leaders delegate to specialists and hold them accountable. I own a treatment center. I also own an agency. I do not wear every hat. I trust experts with their domains. The person behind the camera has been with me for over a decade. I could not create this video without him. Yet, here you are watching it. That same level of trust is required for marketing and admission systems to work. Half trusting an agency, half investing, second guessing every move. That approach does not protect you. It slows you down. This is where we intentionally draw a line. Behavioral Health Partners is built for executors, leaders on a mission to serve their communities, operators who understand their vertical and are willing to trust experts with theirs, people who want transparency, not shortcuts, systems, not slogans. If your primary goal is to find the cheapest option available, we're not the right partner. If your goal is to build something that lasts, protects your staff, and serves more people effectively, then the conversation changes. Cheap marketing feels safe in the moment. Excellence feels expensive until you measure the cost of delay. In addiction treatment, the real risk is not investing too much, it's waiting too long. I hope to speak to you soon from Behavioral Health Partners, your partner in growth and impact. If you want to learn strategies for drug rehab SEO, you can click right here. Or if you want to see how we build strong links to your website, you can click right here.